everybody, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to explore the process of completing the square, and we're going to get a better understanding of why it works and why it's called completing the square. So, kind of just informally first, what completing the square does is it takes this rectangle that we have down here, which is represented by this polynomial, because notice that if we calculate the area of this rectangle, the area of this little square here is x squared. The area of this little rectangle here is 2x. So the area of the big rectangle is x squared plus 2x, or in other words, x times x plus 2, because this base down here, maybe I'll note this in red, or I'll note the length of this is x plus 2. So I'll write that in down here. Okay, but now what we want to do is we want to take this little rectangle, but we want to make this thing more square-like, right? But right now it's a little bit too wide. It needs to be maybe a little bit more more narrow. So what we can do is we can just take this rectangle that's on the right side and cut it in half. So imagine we take this, we cut it in half right down the middle, and then we basically, now I need to So now at this point we need to draw another picture. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just make a sloppier one this time. So we've got our square x squared square here. I guess I can do it in blue, why not? Oops. I'll draw x by x, that's our square, and now we've got this little sliver. Remember, we cut it in half, so now we've just got this shaded part here. And the reason why we cut it in half is because we're going to move that same rectangle to the top. So imagine that these blue, or maybe I'll use a different color, purple, these purple shaded rectangles on the side, these are identical rectangles because we took this rectangle here and we cut it in half, and then we put one of them on top and then one of them on the side we left there. So imagine we just moved this rectangle up to the top. So anyway, now all we need to do now is just think about how much did we add to the top here? Well, we added half of 2. We added 1 here, and we added 1 here. And then whatever goes on the inside, or whatever we need to add to create a square here would be this little, maybe I'll color that this pinkish color right here. This is the extra bit we're adding in when we're completing the square. And notice the dimensions of this. Notice that one, it's a square in itself, right? This little magenta box here, this is a square, and it's a 1 by 1 square. So now let's see what this means in the usual process of completing the square. Well, remember what we do. We focus in on the linear coefficient. We take b, it's equal to 2. We take that linear coefficient and we divide it by 2. We cut it in half. So we take half of it, 1/2 times 2 is 1, and then we square the result, right? Well, that's the area of this. It's the area of this is 1 squared. That's why this works, because all we're really doing is we're taking half of this this coefficient. We're cutting this rectangle in half, and we're bringing it up here, and these are identical. So all that's left over is the 1/2 b squared here, because each of these lengths is just 1 or 1/2 b, however you want to think about it. So anyway, yeah, coming back to this problem now, we've got x squared plus 2x. We need to add 1, and that's how we make a perfect square. So we get x squared plus 2x plus 1, and then this is the same thing as, notice that we've got this big square. Maybe I'll color that in a different color. Let's color that in green. the big square in green, this is an x plus 1 by x plus 1 square. Notice there's x here and 1 here, x here, 1 here. So yeah, the dimensions of this big square, x plus 1 by x plus 1, and therefore we have completed the square. We've gotten this into a perfect square. We've taken our rectangle that we started with and we turned it into a square, hence the name of the process. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit disorganized, but I think it communicates the essence of what's going on. So I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.